Hello students, and welcome to the second part of our clicker game. So what are we going to do in this part? So we're going to finish our gameplay here. We're going to add one more feature to our game, and we're going to create the finishing screen. Okay, so what do we start with? So we need another sprite. So we need one more apple actually. So let us just duplicate the sprite. And what can we do? We can go to its costumes and let us change this apple a little bit. Okay, so let us delete this stick and let us erase a part of an apple like this maybe. So it's kind of eaten. Yeah, this looks pretty good. And also, what can we do? What can we do? Yeah, this is pretty good, but let us also draw something, some black parts over here, like this apple is really, really bad. So why we need this bad eaten apple? The reason for this is that we can actually add one more like thing to click. And when we click on this uh, rotten and eaten apple, we're going to get our points reduced. Okay, so for this red shiny apple, we will get points. And for this eaten apple, if we click on it, our points are going to get reduced. Okay, so as we have duplicated our sprite, the scripts are pretty much the same. Okay, one thing we need to do here is we do not to change points by 0 again. No, this block is actually a little wrong because we actually need to set our points to 0. So please be very attentive here because I have made a little mistake. So we have to set our points to 0 in this script, okay? And when the sprite is clicked, we're going to change points by 1. And in this bad apple, we're going to change points by -1. Okay, so now let us see what happens. And maybe you know what we can do. You know what we can do. We can make this bad apple appear uh, less frequently, for example, every 3 to 5 seconds. Okay, so this apple, this rotten apple, is going to appear every 3 to 5 seconds. So let me try to click on this rotten apple. Yeah, so my points get reduced right now. Yeah, so they get reduced. So every time you click on this bad apple, your points become less. So this is already pretty good feature, and as you have noticed, it's pretty easy to do. So what can we do next? We go to our apple, and as soon as our timer becomes more than 90, both of our apples should hide. Okay, because maybe the timing is like that. So our apple is going to be shown, and when we switch to the next backdrop, our apple is not going to hide, so it will stay on the screen. But we wouldn't like that. So we need both of our apples to hide because after the script is executed, we're going to switch to our final screen. So let us go and find some backdrop where we can do something for our final scene. For example, let it be like this, like light. Okay, so actually the 90 seconds 90 seconds have just passed. So now my apples stopped spawning. And next thing, I go to apple, and after I hide, I'm going to switch the backdrop to light. Also, what can I do? On the light backdrop, we can add some text, for example, again, game over, it can be, or anything that you want. So game over is pretty good. And also, you know what we can do? You know what we can do? We can add some character. For example, For example, it can be a hedgehog, and our hedgehog is going to say what our score is. Okay. So, what scripts can our hedgehog have? Well, first of all, when we switch the backdrop to light, our hedgehog should appear. So, when the backdrop switches to light, our hedgehog should show. And then he should say how many points we scored. So how can we do this now? We can say something for, let it be 5 seconds. And in order to say two things at once, we need a join operator block. So we just put this join operator block here. And in the first empty space, we will type your score is, and in the second empty space, we're going to put points. So your score is points. So nice. And well, in order to make our hedgehog appearing more safe, let us give him coordinates just in case we occasionally move our hedgehog somewhere. So we need to go to xy, so x will be -2, y will be -70, and then we're going to show and say your score is points. Okay, so that's already pretty good actually, but what do we also need here? So when we press the flag, we need to switch our backdrop to the forest one, but this part we're going to use together with menus, and menus we're going to discuss in our next video lecture. So for now, we have our apples, 2 of our apples, we have our hedgehog, and now let us hide the timer. And for now, this is pretty much it. So we're going to finish our project in our next video lecture, where we're going to add the menus. Okay, so see you in the next video lecture.